Hi, welcome to Scriptures and Stitches. I'm Connie, and I have been Texas shop hopping. Please be patient with me. I can sew good, very well, but I can't do this technology stuff. So if you be patient and like and follow and share, I promise I'll get better. In the meantime, I'd like to show you a few things that might make stitching up these beautiful Texas shop hop blocks a little tiny bit easier. Like, I've done the math. Follow along. This pretty block finishes at 9 inches. It is 9.5 raw, which means that each one of these blocks is 3.5. Okay, so 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, all that. But these right here, these are flying geese. Now your AccuQuilt is going to show you to cut your flying geese base, the goose part, like this. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm going to show you a little bit easier way that we're not going to be cutting and we're not going to be sewing on the diagonal. So in order to make this block, you're going to start out, and this is the quilt math I've already done. Your body of your flying goose is 4.5 inches. Here's your dark one, which is this inside of this chevron. Here's your light one, which is the pointy parts of the chevron. Okay, this is the body of the goose. It is 4.5 inches. The wings, or the sky, or whatever you want to call it, this is a 2.5 inch. We're going to put it on here like this. The 2.5 inch has had a diagonal line drawn on it. We're going to stitch on a quarter inch, scant quarter inch on either side of this line. And then these other two, after we stitch this, we're going to split this apart. And then these other two 2.5s are going to go here. And by magic, we will have 4 flying geese with no waste. Here we go. Pin it if you need to. I'm not going to. We're going to cut this apart, cutting on our printed diagonal line. Press these open to make this little heart-looking shape. Okay, now we're going to add our second 2.5 inch square. You'll see this D-cut forming. Right now, it's just this half. I didn't invent this system. It was already invented. I just love it. Stitch on both sides of the diagonal line. And this diagonal line is going that way. All right, we're going to press these open. Looky there, we've got a flying goose, but we have to trim it. I do not have a wing clipper. What I have is a 3.5 inch by 24 inch. I'm going to show you how to use that to trim these down. They need to be trimmed to 2 inch by 3.5. So I use these little rubber grippy thingies to keep my ruler from slipping around. We're going to start out going this direction. What we need to do is straighten up this line and get rid of these dog ears. So let me see if I can point this out. We've got 3.5 across here, and there's 1/4 inch marks. So that spot right there is the center. It's 1.25 inches from both sides, and it's 1/4 inch from there. We're going to match this spot right here to this V right here. And then this seam right here, we're going to match to this 2-inch line right here. That's how we're going to do this. Or you can buy the really expensive wing clipper. So here's this 2-inch mark. Let's get that. I got a fold in there. Once this dot is right here, then this and this thing is just not gonna be perfectly. I might have to rip this out. Try that one more time. There we go. All right. You see that 2-inch mark right across there is matching where this the wing seam is, and this V is matching where that 1.25 inches is. Take off those and trim off that dog ear. Now we're going to turn it around and trim it to 2 inches wide. So we've got this at the 2-inch. This little dot is still going to sit in that V. And we see that the end of the ruler is right here at these corners, provided we're lined up. Perfect. 2-inch by 3.5 flying goose. Let's get the rest of them trimmed up. Make sure your point matches these seams right here and you're not over your 2-inch mark. This little grippy thing keeps that ruler from slipping around. Perfect 2.5 by, or 2 by 3.5. There you go. Let's see if we can get the other set. This block uses 8 flying geese. 4 of them have the light background, 4 of them have the dark background. And then it uses the 5 3.5 to make your 9 patch. Here we go. You will notice that this right here is not that well overlapped. That's not much of a 1/4 inch seam allowance. But once we get this part on, it's going to overlap nicely. Scant 1/4 inch on each side of the line. Came undone. Let's try that again. Two and a 1/2 inch block on our flying geese part. Stitch it down. Okay, trim it up. Never, ever, ever neglect your trimming. Let's put it together. I'm going to stitch these together first, then I'm going to stitch the rows, and then I'm going to stitch them all together. In order to sew these together, I will have this pointy one up, and I am going to stitch just that side of this X mark. And when it's all together, it'll look like that.